Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at your spiritual journey, your past, present, and your future. And to do this very important reading, you will be picking from four piles. Let me introduce the piles to you. For pile number 1, we have the Peach Moonstone, and this is what it looks like. For pile number 2, we have the green moss agate, and this is what it looks like. For pile number 3, we have the amazonite, and this is what it looks like. And for pile number 4, we have the blue goldstone, and this is what it looks like. All right, so take a look at which one of these 4 piles or 4 crystals you're the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to several piles, or perhaps today you feel drawn to all of the piles, or just one, always trust your intuition, because your intuition will guide you to the right readings. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. If you love the card picking and the shuffling process, I always leave this section specially for you. But if you wanted to go right ahead and start your reading, you'll find the timestamp to this reading right under the one you just clicked on. All right, so these are the 4 oracle cards that we will be using. Oracle decks that we will be using for today's reading. And this is, of course, the tarot deck that you have chosen. And as I always say, if you are interested in any of the decks that I use and you want to know its name, I always leave their names down in the description box. Okay, so can we kindly get, I feel it. More information about pile number 1's spiritual journey, please. Past, present, and future. Okay, let's move on to the next deck. And again, shuffle with intention. Can we kindly get more information, please? Oh, thanks a lot. About pile number 1's spiritual journeys, past, present, and future. Okay. Third deck. Ooh. May we kindly get more information, please, about pile number 1's spiritual journey, past, present, and I feel this one, and future. All right. Moving on to our last oracle deck. Whoa, you did not see that? That's great. I'm going to be taking it out. 1. Ah, there's another one. 2. Ooh, thanks a lot. These were obvious. And 3. Okay. Now we'll be using your tarot deck. Let's shuffle with intention first. I feel this one. May we kindly get more information about pile number 1's spiritual journey, past, present, and future. We'll be taking seven cards for each of the piles. So that's 2 for each. Ooh. 3, 3, and 3. 4, 4, and 4. 5, 5, and 5. 6 and 7. So, cannot wait to get into this reading. Let's put them neatly together. The past and the present and the future. Cannot wait to find out what the energies of the cards are, what they're trying to say. I find these to be really important readings. All right, so the past pile is ready. Future. All right, so future is ready. I feel like I need to do this one again. There we go. And pile number 3. The future is also ready. All right, so pile number 1, your piles are now ready. Let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. As you can see, during the pile preparation process, we have divided your piles into past, present, and future. I'm so excited about your reading. Let's get right into it. And as usual, we'll be taking a look at your oracle cards first. So let me start with this one. Interesting, you have the nectar to begin your reading. That's the past. Ooh, you have eagle. Okay. Jupiter in Libra with negotiation. This card during the preparation process just popped out of the deck. So that's really meant to come here. And I see a lot of good luck with the Jupiter. It's like you connected early, pile number 1, to spirituality, to source, to your magic, your intuition. Yeah, we can clearly see that in your reading. Especially that this is a reading about your spiritual journey, the past with the eagle and the nectar and Libra. We can see you here being balanced between the earthly realms as well as the unknown. You've connected very early in your path, pile number 1. Okay, so this is how the last oracle card for the past looks like. Let's keep it here for now. And now, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So, you have the 2 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, Strength, Death. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. I love what's depicted here. You have the 7 of Pentacles, Justice. Yeah. We see a lot of balancing going on in your past, for sure, pile number 1. and the Five of Wands. Let me adjust these cards and get right back. That is much better. Just a heads up, if you hear any sleeping sounds, this is my dog. I always keep him next to me, so apologies for any sounds in the background. All right, so taking a look at your cards at a quick glance here, we kind of see with the pregnancy and the small children here, I feel like this reading is taking us way back in your past from when you were a small child. And we do see that your spiritual journey jump-started very quickly, in fact, pile number 1. Something happened with this specific death card. A very early transformation happened to you where maybe something toxic perhaps happened. A situation that definitely wasn't easy happened way back in your past that helped you develop a lot of empathy for others early on in your journey. And you think that this toxic or tough challenge, let's call it tough challenge, that happened very early in your life would bring you out of balance, but that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing here a journey that brought a lot of strength, and mind you, with the whale here, we see inherent strength that was dormant, that has sprung out into action. It was unleashed because of this situation. It's like you were holding up very well as a little child, pile number 1. You were a strong kid. And here we see right away that it did not cause you to crumble, but in fact helped you become a very balanced person. This kind of reminds me of the brain, if you can see what I'm seeing here. It's like you've become a smarter person, and the reason for that with the eagle eye here, eagles are known to have sharp sight in order to hunt their prey. And so we kind of see that you were able to discern from a very early age what's right and what's wrong, what makes sense and what doesn't. You weren't confused. You were able to quickly point out to yourself what was toxic, what was right, what was loving, and what was wrong. I don't feel at all that you blamed yourself for anything. It took you time to understand the situation, well, for sure. But you brought yourself, is the right word, into balance. Do you see? There's a lot of balancing happening, even though it's not easy and it doesn't make sense. Imagine a rabbit balancing themselves on a fish that's about to jump back into the pond, creating a marvelous act of balance that impresses everyone. You were able to discern between truth and the information that other people were giving to you, meaning you weren't easily gaslighted. You were able to use your mind to think, was I really wrong? Or maybe these adults, these teachers, or these colleagues aren't behaving in the best way. Whatever situation it is, you were able to think about it very well with this sharp sight. And of course, the nectar. Let me tell you what I see here. With the nectar in Hindu mythology, it's considered a miraculous substance called Amrit. And the Amrit contains infinite healing powers. It's like the sacred elixir. So you were able to, at an early age, think for yourself and balance yourself out. Balance is written all over your reading. Balance yourself out with the information that others are giving to you, and think for yourself of the things that are unknown. You were very blessed in this area with Jupiter. With Libra, you were able to balance and discern information out. and think, oh, all right. Yes, Libra is written all over your reading, and discern, all right. So perhaps this person did this and that, but I believe they did it probably because they themselves don't know that this is wrong, not because I did the wrong thing. Or maybe you think, okay, I went wrong here, maybe I hurt this person, and the next time I'll be careful to do the right thing. And so you were your own little coach. Isn't this cute? You thought so well and discerned, and slowly but surely became a very balanced person because of these situations. Slowly but surely you unleashed your strength. And I bet moving on in your reading with this huge strength pile, we see a strong character moving forward. You've developed strength, you've developed grit with the Five of Wands. Early on, you were a very strong character. You were able to, most of the time, defend yourself pretty well. Even when there were bullies, obviously it was toxic, it hurt you, but it always went back to create strength and grit. You've learned to stand up for yourself. You've learned to discern what's right and what's wrong. You haven't given up on yourself, pile number one. You were very forgiving towards yourself. If you didn't do something, and that's what I see with the Seven of Pentacles here as well. If you didn't do it right once or twice or 50,000 times, you are the sort of person who always goes back, nurture yourself and think, okay, how can I do it better the next time? And that's why you have the nectar in your reading as a child in your past. You were able to heal yourself in a pretty impressive way. And discern what's right, what's wrong, protect yourself very well. Pile number one, you are so impressive. Now, what I'm seeing here, however, is that maybe because of the toxicity in your past, you have kind of isolated yourself. You've created this beautiful candy world, where you enjoyed yourself immensely. You've done the things that you enjoy doing. Perhaps these were hobbies. You've created a wonderful world where you've learned a lot of skills. You may be connected with Source, or perhaps pursued your dreams, and you felt like a king or a queen in this world. But at the same time, it was very isolating. Perhaps it was some sort of protection in your past from the toxicity that you had to protect yourself from, until maybe you could move or leave the environment. It wasn't up to you really to leave, it seems, of course, at that time. And so you had to isolate yourself, keep yourself balanced and safe, and create your own happy world. Kudos to you, pile number one. Really, kudos to you for making the best out of this. I'm so proud of you. What a child. We all want to be this child. Kudos to you, pile number one. Super impressive. I'm sure the reading moving on from here is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see what happens next. All right, so now that we've had a good idea about your past, with the nectar, you've collected key information and experiences from the past. This challenge has really pushed you and jump-started you into your spiritual journey very early on. You, as a child, were able to balance between the worldly matters, meaning you were a very logical person, but at the same time, you did trust your gut. You kind of seen some signs here and there. You've connected somehow to the universe very early on. Maybe you thought a thinker. You were a thinker, and you were very lucky in terms of being able to find out. See, this is the key here. A lot of people think, but not everyone is lucky enough to get to the root cause of things, to the root idea, to look honestly and sharply into things and see where we went wrong and what to do next time. Your thought process was sharp, clear, and you were able to learn greatly from it, pile number 1. Such an impressive personality, I really must say. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at your past, let's take a look at your present. Let me clear this out. All right, pile number 1. Let's now take a look at your present. I put your tarot cards from the past back in the deck in case we want to use it. And let's take a look at your oracle cards first. Whoa, you have the prayer. Kind of makes me feel that you do some rituals one way or the other, or perhaps you're very connected. It doesn't need to be rituals. You could be very much connected at the moment with the universe, with source, with your spirit guides. You're very much connected is what I'm seeing. Pretty interesting. Yeah, like I told you, I'm not surprised with this, taking a look at your past. You've always been connected to your intuition, your psychic abilities. Yeah. Whoa. So you have Scorpion. You must be a very strong character at the moment, pile number 1. Again, not a surprise, seeing how balanced you were as a child. We see that you are, at the moment, you've built a strong character. You're not easy to deal with in terms of other people fooling you or tricking you or stepping on your boundaries. Quite respected, and people are careful with you at this point of your life. All right. You have Sun in Libra again. So you have Libra coming again, a balanced person. In fact, Sun in Libra is called harmony. Love that. And this is what your oracle card looks like. What an interesting oracle card. With the 5, I feel like you're changing again, pile number 2, in your present. It's like you're eating the old or adjusting the old, and you're glowing up into something new. You're glowing up. Yeah, with all these diamonds here, you're really glowing up, pile number 1. You're developing and growing even more. Wow, I love that. Okay, now it's time for us to take a look at your tarot cards. So we'll adjust these later. I feel like I want to take this one first. That's the 3 of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands. The 9 of Wands. A lot of wands in your energy at the moment. The High Priestess. Wow. Talk about being connected. Okay. The Ace of Swords. The Tower. Yes, we can clearly see here taking down the old and coming back with a new version of yourself. Wonder what that is. And they're eating a cookie. It's like you're really enjoying this process this time. It's by choice. But it's like an inner child is crying as well. You're healing your inner child. You're probably healing the toxicity. We put the cards back. The toxicity that happened during your childhood. You're in the process of healing that. What is that mysterious card? The 7 of Cups. All right, let me adjust these and come back. That is much better. Okay, so of course, right at the place I believe where death was in the past, I see the High Priestess here. We can clearly see that right now you have fully attuned to a great extent, or found your spiritual path. You found your special spiritual abilities. You know, and you are very much aware that you are psychically gifted, a very intuitive person. You have, just like the High Priestess, an inner knowing. You have dealt with a lot of people, and you were able to realize that you have more tools, you have more skills, you have much more deeper understanding and a deeper thought process than most of the people around you, who perhaps are more focused on gossip, and we'll get to that in a second. You're able to manifest your dreams with the Seven of Cups and the High Priestess. You're able to attract things towards you very easily. Pile number 1, a highly spiritual person. You've connected to source. You found your magic. Pile number 1. And of course, with the Scorpion showing up, the Scorpion personality is also a very psychic person. But here's the thing. Again, with balanced, you are a person who's very much grounded as well. Because the Scorpion is a person who is very... Scorpion archetype or personality, someone who's very determined and passionate about their career. So you come across as someone who is highly talented, determined, manifests what they want, and on your spiritual path with the Nine of Wands here, you're very confident about your skills and your power and what you can offer. And with the Knight of Wands in conjunction with the Nine of Wands, I see you jump starting into your spiritual path with great strength. You're probably right on in the very beginning of this spiritual path. Perhaps you've been on it learning in the past, but with the Tower, this is showing me that you're now starting a new level where you're beginning your own thing. You know exactly what you want and how to do it. The Three of Pentacles, you're working hard, showing the world, presenting to the world what you have. You're very passionate at the moment. You clearly know what you want. You have big dreams that you know you can manifest. You're praying and attracting it to you. And you have great confidence that you will be achieving so much in your future. Which, before I take a look at your future, the energies presented in this reading are really showing me that you will be manifesting so much into your life. Pile number 1. I see these fays with frog legs. It's like you're about to jump this magic. You're about to begin it. With all the feathers, perhaps you are meant to fly. It's very evident for you. Well, good luck with that, pile number 1. Really good luck with that. I really do see that you are someone who is full of dreams at the moment. With the pearl here, again, emphasizing on the idea that you have unique skills that pertain to only you. You know, in the past, pearls were only presented to the kings and the queens. They were the only ones who wore them. It wasn't easy to find them. And it was only the king and the queens who owned them. And so we see that you are a unique person with skills that are needed. Again, with the lotus, you're presenting something very valuable to the world. And that's why we see you you're beginning on the exact right path. You're full of knowledge, one way or the other, that a lot of people don't have. Or maybe they have, but you're able to present it in a very wise way. You're guided, you download information easily. It's like you just, like the High Priestess, there's an inner knowing to you. You just know things. You understand it very well. And this knowledge that you have, this inner knowing, these high skills that you have, will really be helping you achieve your dreams. And the reason for that is that your dreams seem to be very much in harmony with the world. Your ego is very much aligned with the greater good, helping you manifest things quickly. I also see, pile number 1, something very evident, like we've discussed in the very beginning. At the moment, you're healing your inner child. We saw with the Death card in the past reading that there's a lot of toxicity that happened that kind of pushed you at that time to become isolated. And again, we see that very strongly with the Scorpion energy. So that's still carried on until now. You're strong, you know how to communicate, there's no problem with that. You present yourself very well. People love speaking with you because you have a lot of knowledge. You're very well spoken. Maybe not knowledge, but maybe you are wise. People love speaking to you. You're strong. You're very spiritual, but you choose to kind of isolate yourself, perhaps because of the pains that happened in the past, the toxicity, the gossip. A lot of things really hurt you in the past. I see you healing from that in your present. Pile number 1. I see you working on that and bringing balance to your inner child by slowly connecting with others, knowing how to deal with them. So you're growing stronger now, even stronger than when you were a child. This inner strength is unleashed. You got in touch with your power. You know how to set boundaries. You know what to do. You know how to attract attention to you very well. You know how to speak well. And most importantly, you know how to deal with the very people who used to eat your soul or bring pain to you. You've learned to set boundaries. And with all the flowers here, I kind of feel like you're not addressing them with a nasty way. You're with the flowers, I kind of feel like you've learned to keep your cool. They don't hurt you anymore, these things. And that's the most important thing. That's why you have harmony, pile number 1. Because it's not like you're triggered and you know how to defend yourself back. No. I see that you've blossomed into someone who's healing, and things don't hurt you as much anymore as they used to in the past. Perhaps with you being a smart person, with all the clarity, you were able to understand so many things, what these people are like, why they do what they do. Maybe you now even feel sorry for them. You've grown a lot in your spiritual journey. You've gained a lot of wisdom and internal balance ever since you were a child. And with growing up with that, you were able to discern very quickly who doesn't have this balance. And so you understand. And despite the fact that you understand, you may not be triggered internally, but you do know how to set strong boundaries. And so again, there's this balance of not being hurt, but not being mellow either, just because you're not hurt. You're strong, but with so much inner peace. And with this process, this harmonious process here, you are healing your inner child from the very same things that used to hurt you one day. Pile number 2. Oh my God. Such an impressive pile number 1. Such an impressive pile. Oh my God, you see this pile number 1 as well. This is wonderful. Do you see, with all of the eating that these past people did, all the hurt and the biting that they've done, they were never able to eat your vision or your sight. They were never able to affect you seeing things properly, which is your biggest gift. Perhaps you're clairvoyant with all of the seeing coming up in your reading. Being able to see very well with the eagle from your childhood up until today. Your capability of seeing things right, your inner knowing is intact. Very strong psychic person. But I would say that the strongest thing happening, as well as your inner child healing, is you manifesting something big. It's just like a diamond here. You're manifesting a big dream. And the reason it is depicted as a diamond here, in my opinion, in your reading, is shining bright. Meaning it's quite important to your heart, but it's very much aligned with your spiritual path and connected to the greater good. Pile number 1. Impressive personality. Oh, Ooh, and you have the Moonstone. How did I not notice that? I'm happy I noticed it in the present energy, which is what you are drawn to at the moment. And the beautiful peach Moonstone helps you sort things out through emotions and understand them better. And that's what you're going through at the moment. Very cool, pile number 1 indeed. Now I'm really interested to find out what your future in terms of your spiritual journey is going to be like. Let's get into that. All right, let's now take a look at the future of your spiritual journey, pile number 1. I'm so excited for you. You have the empty room. You know what I kind of feel right away with this? You're stepping into an area that no one has ever stepped into before. So you're presenting something super unique. And that, my dear friend, is not a surprise, taking a look at your spiritual journey from the very beginning of you being a child. You're here meant to be on a very specific mission. With the empty room, I won't lie to you, I kind of feel like it pertains only to you. It's kind of like only you can do it. A new territory that you're addressing here, pile number 1. It's like you're a pioneer. You're the first one who's going to step into something. Wow. Wow, pile number 1. I wonder what you are going to be doing here. Let's take a look. Whoa, see, you have the black egg, which is a spiritual card in the animal deck. Now, this reminds me of the morphic egg, the creation of the universe. Again, it started from nothing. Everything happened, and we'll get into that. But let's take a look into the rest of your cards, and we'll talk about the Orphic egg in a second. You have Saturn in Leo, of course, with generosity. Yes. You're with Saturn. You're helping and you're pioneering us from something that is very challenging with Saturn here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so with this here, I see here that there's a new phase to the world with the black egg. With the black egg, I see that we're in, dark times. Very challenging times on Earth at the moment. There's grand shift and a birth perhaps of new powers, or not a birth of challenging times. They don't have to be powers. They could be challenging times. And new leaders are needed. I see you leading with generosity. It's like you're really helping people out magnificently during these tough times. It's like making it super easy on them, where otherwise, look, pile number 1, where otherwise it should have been super challenging for everyone. Dark times, you're lighting up these times, and believe it or not, during these times with your help, I don't know what you're doing, but what I'm seeing is with your help, you're helping masses make the best out of this time, be super happy in a time where they should have felt super challenged. Pile number 1, please don't forget me with this journey. Please help me out with you as well. 5, change. Change is your word here. With all of the strength I took, look, oh my God, no, I put the cards back, unfortunately. With what we saw with the 9 of Wands, you're embarking on a very strong spiritual journey. It's like you're a pioneer helping a lot of us. Well, I'm sure you're going to be helping me for sure. Let me know more about this, pile number 1. I would love to be led by you in this area, please. Okay, and this is your oracle cards. Let's see the rest of your tarot cards and see exactly what's up here. Perhaps there is a great power trapping us, and you're ending this with 8 and 1 goes down to 9. Numerologically, that's an end of a cycle. You're ending this trap where we were meant to go into something dark, but with generosity, you're leading us into great times. You know, in fact, we see some kind of a leader here, a spiritual leader. Please, pile number 1. Wow. May you always be blessed. Let's take a look at your tarot cards here. The 2 of Wands. You have a lot of wands in your reading, I'm noticing. You have, whoa, the stars. Like, you know, with the trumpet in the Judgment card. And there's this new generation of people rising. You're helping people in dark times. I'm telling you, pile number 1. Ooh. You can see, with the 2 of Wands. I'm seeing that you're able to balance challenging times, because remember when I told you you're very clairvoyant, you have an eye. You're able to see challenges and trouble before it erupts. You have a strong sense of knowing trouble. Perhaps you listen to the news, you're not easily swayed by distractions, you know, where sometimes they try to bring our sight in one direction. You're able to see beyond all of that. You're able to see where the problem is, be prepared, help others be prepared. It's like you're calling to the masses, helping them rise, helping them find their dreams and achieve their dreams in a time that was otherwise supposed to be. Imagine that, pile number 1. This is blowing my mind. Just like the Orphic egg, there. Let me tell you about the Orphic egg. Speaking of that, so the Orphic creation myth is of Protagonist, who was the first god to be born. And by the way, Protagonist means the firstborn, or it was he who created the universe. He was born from both chaos and ether, and so we see the whole universe being created from nothingness, from ether and chaos. So we understand that from chaos, your help during that time, out of all the times, you're helping not just people come out of this, but you're helping them achieve their dreams. And so imagine, for example, someone predicted that when you're 30, you would have a great disaster. And so knowing this information, you've waited all your life for the year number 30, and you had a heavy heart getting close to it, and you dreaded it because you can see that these are the dark times coming. Now imagine, because you've foreseen these times, you saved very well. You have learned a lot that you otherwise wouldn't have learned had you not known that you would have been in these challenging times. You have created your own business on the side along with your work just to be safe. You've done this, you've done that, you've prepared so much. Now, when these tough times came, and they did, just like you foresaw, they did come, but you've entered this room with great wealth and with great friends and with your dreams, with your business and your dreams blooming. So along with these challenging times, what was supposed to be a horrible time, this is the time where you're living with generosity and achieving your dreams and being happy. So the bad things are happening along with the amazing things, but you're so much padded and protected, that you're living things that you would have dreamt your whole life to be experiencing. And you're not trapped. You were able to escape this trap. And you're watching these challenging times laughing. So for example, if these challenging times had to do with a lot of debts, now you'll have so much money that these debts are funny because you're able to pay them off. Your work laid you off, no problem, you were gonna leave it anyway because you've built your own business. You've had friends who betrayed you. Yes, you didn't like it, you let them go, but you have a beautiful community surrounding you. So what could have been a trauma turned out to be a little irritation. You forgot about it, you perhaps not even cried it out, but you felt the irritation, you had a heavy heart for a couple of days, and you sprung back into action, having fun with this amazing community. And that's just an example, just to explain the idea of what should have been super challenging times turned out to be dreams coming true for you and for everyone. Pile number 1, I am so impressed by what you're doing here. I would love to learn more. And please, if you have ideas here that you later on discover it, because this is your future journey, I hope you always remember to come back and guide others who've watched this reading and would love to learn from you. Pile number 1, that's definitely including me. All right, so you have the 7 of Swords. Tricky times, lying times, times of deceit. We'll talk about that. Yes, the 5 of Pentacles, times that should have been tough. During these times where it's tough, you're being presented with wealth. And you helping others do the same. Knight of Swords, wow. So much courage and you speaking up about it. Not being challenged with your thoughts or your ideas. Standing up strong, saying what is right and what is wrong. With the frozen snowflake here, I feel like your heart is frozen. You know that song? You're not being affected by anyone that tries to manipulate you, to stop you. You're standing there very strong, very courageous, making sure you protect yourself, protect others. It's like a raging sea, but only with tranquility. And that's something that you've learned from in your present now. You're learning now to stand in challenging times. Oh, these were in your tarot cards. Remember when we saw the idea of you being balanced. Yeah, the harmony. Fighting with strength, but at the same time you've learned to heal, and so you're not really angry. You just learn to set boundaries and not be triggered and be calm. Yeah, a highly spiritual person. So it's not like you're fighting because you're foolish. It's like you're calm, you know what you're saying, and you're not afraid to speak up. You're not afraid with all of this frozen energy here. You have the 2 of Swords. You see, you're standing against what's the word I'm looking for? Against the Ace of Cups. Beautiful beginning for you and everyone. You're standing against injustice of the new world with no worry at all. With no worry at all, with a lot of strength. With your words as well. With your ideas. Especially that it's in conjunction with the 7 of Swords. Do you see here? A lot of mermen are standing there looking at the swords with fascination. But soon they'll realize that it cuts their hands. And it's like the lies that are you're catching lies, and you're foretelling others about the lies that are happening, to where to be careful not to take everything that is offered to them, is what I'm seeing, to pick right from the circumstances that are happening. So for example, that would be if free debts, that's just an example of what I can understand. If they're offering free loans, don't take it, because it's going to hurt you later. And especially that you're foreseeing changes in rules. So that's just an example, of course. I'm not saying that this is what you will advise others to do. I'm just giving an example. You'll be showing people how to make use of the system that has opened up by advising people what to pick, what to leave, how to help yourself during that time in order not to be trapped, but in fact make use of it to shine and reach your dreams. Super impressive, pile number 1. Or these could be, it doesn't have to be financial, it could be helping others emotionally so that they can achieve their dreams and get what they want, where otherwise they would have been afraid. Yeah. Pile number 1, so impressive. You are much needed during these times, guiding yourself as well as others, creating a beautiful beginning for everyone in whichever field you're in. These are just examples that I used to explain the sort of energy that I'm seeing here in your reading. Most importantly, you're here to help people out of a trap, ending this cycle, explaining to them the healthy way of perhaps looking at things with your vision, so that they avoid the traps and they're able to achieve their dreams during a time that would have otherwise been difficult. You're presenting a beautiful solution to them, and you're standing there very strong, very well protected. Pile number 1, this was such a magical reading. I can see from the very beginning, especially with Nectar, that you are a very unique person. And I'm proud to have done really a reading for you. Proud to be connected to you. I hope you don't forget me as soon as you get these advices, these pieces of advice for all of us. And pile number 1, this was such an honor. I'm very happy to have done this reading for you, to have connected with you. All the best of luck. And this was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. Perhaps pile number 1, this could really help you in your journey. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. It won't waste your time. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying this process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 1, again, it was such a pleasure connecting with you, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. If you love the card picking and the shuffling process, I always leave this section especially for you. And if you clicked here by mistake and you've been meaning to start your reading right away, you'll find the timestamp to your reading right under the one you've just clicked on. Okay, so let me introduce the decks that we will be using. We'll be using the main deck as your tarot deck, the one that you have chosen, of course. And these are the 4 oracle decks that we will be using for your reading. And if you want to know any of the names of the decks that I use, I always leave their names down in the description box. Okay, now let's shuffle with intention. And as you can see, we'll be dividing your reading into 3 piles. 1 for past, 1 for present, and 1 for your future, the future of your spiritual journey. Okay. So can we kindly get more information about pile number 2, spiritual journey, please, for this deck and for all the decks that we will be using in terms of their past, present, and future. I feel like this is the present, past, and future. Okay. Right. Now let's move on to the next deck and shuffle with intention. Can we kindly, thank you, get more information about pile number 2's past, present, and future of their spiritual journey? All right. Now moving on to the next deck. I feel this one. All right. Whoa, did you see that? No, you have not. And this one. Okay. I feel this one. This one. Whoa, you've seen this one. It's okay. I always believe that you're meant to receive the cards that you are supposed to receive. Just like this one. All right. I will, however, be taking the one that popped out into consideration. Let me take it out. No, I don't think it's actually meant to come out. Because as I'm looking at all these cards... Ah! It is meant to come out. Okay. Wrong. Meant to come out. There we go. I'll leave it here. It probably means something with intuition. Ooh! Could it mean that you are a person with very strong intuition? Again, a pile with high psychic abilities. Let me keep it here. And we'll be using it during your reading. What a pile. Okay, I'm kind of feeling as well that you get messages easily. You see a lot of signs. You're highly connected. Pile number 2. Okay, so now we have taken all the cards from your oracle decks. Now it's time that we use your tarot deck, the one that you have chosen. We will be taking out 7 cards for each of the 3 piles, past, present, and future. So what is pile number 2's spiritual journey, please, in terms of their past, present, and future? Please. Past, present, and future. 2, 2, and 2, 3, 3, and 3. 4, 4, and 4. 5, 6, and 7. Ooh. Right. Okay, let's put your tarot deck back in its place in case we need to use it during your reading. Your beautiful stone right there, the one that you picked. All right, now let's put your piles, the past, present, and future, neatly together, starting with the past. All right. There we go. And 3, the future. There we go. This looks like it's going to be a very interesting reading, especially with that card popping out with intuition. I wonder what this is going to be about. Very excited for this reading, pile number 2, and let's get right into it. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. As you can see, during the card preparation process, we have divided your reading into 3 piles. We're taking a look at your past, present, and future. During the preparation process, if you want to check that out, you'll find a link before this one, right before this one. This card just popped out. And straight away, I can see from this card, first of all, like I told the people who watch the preparation process, with intuition, you come across as someone who's very intuitive, of course. Now we see Pluto appearing in your reading. This is showing me that, as you may know, Pluto is the planet of karma. We see the snake here with the south node and the north node, showing me that the past that we're going to be taking a look at the moment is, in fact, a past life and not this life. With the south node, we're seeing you working on a certain karma, healing a certain karma, moving towards your north node. So perhaps we may even take a look at your early life as well with the south node. We'll find out together as we take a look at your past reading, but I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting one. Let's keep it here for now and take a look at your past cards. So, what do we have? Let's take a look at this one first. Ooh, we have Aletheia. So we have the shadow and the light. This idea of going from the south node to the north node. Very clearly here, you're healing something from your past life. And Aletheia also means truth. A Latin word meaning truth. So you're finding your truth. You're learning about something, healing a certain karma. All right, you also have, you have the raccoon. And the raccoon archetype, we're seeing a lot of the black and whites. Do you see? The shadow and light. The raccoon as an archetype is someone who has recluse, is full of talent, full of so many things to offer. But for one reason or the other, perhaps of some misunderstanding, a shadow that may need to heal, perhaps has reclused and has prevented the world from seeing the amazing things that only they have. Now I kind of understand why you were drawn to the green moss agate. The funny thing is it has to do with the heart chakra, and you have a heart crystal in your reading. So you're here healing something hurtful that happened, a karma that happened in the past. You're in this lifetime coming to heal that and move into the light, move into the truth, seeing things, and you will be achieving it. You do see this character, four-armed figure, holding the 2 lotus flowers up towards the sky, showing victory. So you'll be achieving something big in this lifetime. With Gabriel, that's the angel of the throat chakra of communication. You'll be teaching something in this lifetime, perhaps through art or through words. We'll see. I'm not quite sure yet. Okay, but you're mainly here to heal as well. Heal something that may have been quite heavy or dark that happened in the past. You have, yes, do you see? Something cracked inside you. Pile number 2. Something big happened that had, that took a huge toll on you. It broke your heart, for sure. It was so big, you're here to heal it. And just like the egg, you had something great to offer, as always, but you weren't able to offer it in the past lifetime. The core was killed. The juice, the special juice, wasn't offered in the lifetime. And so you're here to heal that, to begin a new cycle, and not just heal it, but bring that golden core within you to help do something amazing. With Gabriel and truth, Alethea, I'm seeing that you'll be showing the truth to something, to yourself first, and then in your mission, in your spiritual journey. Okay, so you have Mars in Pisces with escape. What an interesting card. We'll see what this is about. Perhaps you were hunted in your past. You were hunted down, maybe for saying the truth. In your past life, pile number 2, you were hunted down for speaking a certain truth. Perhaps there was a traditional, maybe even religious way of thinking in the past. Your truth wasn't able to come out back at that time. You were way ahead of your time. It seems you were hunted down. You weren't able to bring this important voice or the important words that you had out, but you're being victorious in this lifetime. Thank God. Thank the universe. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. You have the 3 of Pentacles. You have the 6 of Pentacles. Didn't I tell you you were very skilled with the 3 of Pentacles here, especially this one. You're a very talented person. Some of you, like I said from the beginning, could be artists, remember. Or maybe you're just creative with a lot of artistic talent that's going to help you in some way. You have the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands is the first decan of Leo, which is ruled by Saturn in Leo. So it's like, here's the thing, Leo is a leader who wants to come out and show some truth, wants to be a leader. Yeah, is super creative. That's what Leo is. But then Saturn comes and goes, no, we're challenging you now. It's not the time. There's something that you need to learn. It's not the time for you to bring this challenge out. And then Leo is like, no, I'm Leo. I'm here to change. I'm here to create. In fact, the motto for Leo is I do. You know, you're here to do something. You're here to create. And you were challenged in your past. Do you see how the 6 of Pentacles has their bags open? You were expecting reciprocation for this heroic, challenging act that you were doing, the truth that you were showing, but you were greatly challenged. Perhaps you were hunted down with the Mars energy, with great strength. It might have been brutal, and you weren't able to finish your spirit and your mission. And that's why it seems in this lifetime you're here to heal the shadow first, heal your broken heart, heal within first, and then help bring this Leo energy out to change truth that you were meant from the very beginning to change, moving to your real North Node. Pile number 2. Very, very interesting reading. You have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, here there was a lot of stress here. Do you see? It's like you were disturbed. Pile number 2. You were greatly disturbed. It's like you're a vulture, but you've became tired because of all the attacks. It's like you were very shocked to see all of these attacks, and perhaps you weren't able to receive guidance and help in your past life. It happened so quickly. Also, you weren't listening as well for something. Perhaps you believed in yourself so much, you weren't listening to your ambiance, to your environment. You didn't do it in the past in a calm way. You weren't listening to your environment, to your thoughts. You didn't take it slowly. And so a shock happened. In this life, it seems that you're very aware of your environment, very aware of your ambiance. You are able to first see where people are at, meet them there, and slowly take them out. And that's what's bringing victory. It's like you're healing this karma. You're healing what Saturn was trying to teach you. Saturn, Pluto. You have the Knight of Swords. You're rewriting your story. Do you see? You're taking out the past that didn't work and doing it in a new way. The Swords energy is all about thinking, so you're thinking it in a more open-minded way. You're healing, you're figuring out, you're including other ideas. It's like, you know, when there's a fast car, it's able to move very quickly, but the surrounding cars that are traveling with this car aren't as fast. So sometimes you need, even though you can go full speed, you need to first go at a low speed so that these cars can warm up and take the time to run, and then you'll be able to run along with them. Always knowing that you have the potential to run even further, but it's about helping others move with you. Pile number 2. What an interesting past reading. You have the 9 of Pentacles. And you have the 4 of Wands. We see great victory in the North Node happening. It's kind of like a foreshadow towards the future. But also, in specific, it means with the 4 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, you're coming here with the intention of making it this time. Your soul is here to achieve it. 9 of Pentacles is a dream come true, is a wish come true, rectifying or healing this karma and celebrating your success of something, this Leo energy that wanted to succeed from the very beginning. So it's like you're seeing the truth for yourself and also helping others see the truth. But you had to see it first with Pluto and Saturn. You had to learn first to be receptive of your environment, to, yes, you're right, you are on the right track, you are way ahead, and you might have noticed it from the very beginning. You are way ahead of everyone. This is the truth. You're strong, your vision is right, but it's about also understanding that not everyone is on your level yet, and to put your environment into consideration and to take it slowly. Not to create war with the Martian energy, but rather create peace. Do it through peace. Super interesting, pile number 1. Now that we've had a look at your past, I kind of want to look at your cards and also see the beginning of your life here, your spiritual path, your past. I would say in terms of your past, you had a lot of healing, a lot of pain, perhaps some sadness that you weren't quite sure where it came from. You seem to me that you were an empath, someone who felt for other people. That's your nature, even though you're a very strong person. You have this Leo energy. In your past life, my goodness, you were very adamant about speaking your truth. I see that in your past, this time, you're quite careful. You have the right thoughts, you have the right ideas, but sometimes you don't say them. But you know the truth. You know you're skilled. But because, again, of what happened in the past, sometimes you would doubt it with the raccoon energy. I see you spent your past slowly but surely healing from the past wounds. I feel like you've landed here not suddenly happy. So life was a mixture between some stress and happiness, because it allowed you to get into this energy, to heal, to cry it out, and to grow into a happy person. So I would say your past was, there were sadness, but also it helped you cry, heal, and become a very joyous, happy-go-lucky person with the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. You were able to heal throughout your childhood, the things that happened in the past. And despite the fact that you're a little reserved, you are also, to the close people, someone who's happy, someone who's grown beautifully, and is quite optimistic, despite of everything, quite optimistic, lucky, and very hopeful towards the future. Pile number 2. Love your super special reading, especially that we're seeing it here from the past. Love your mission, and I hope you are blessed with it. Pile number 2. So you're here to speak out a certain truth, bring everyone to push everyone into some progressive type of thinking. Okay, let me clear out this past energy, put the tarot cards back into the deck in case we need them, and take a look at your present. All right, let's take a look at your present energies. One thing I've noticed is that I forgot to turn on your candle with the past reading, and I felt like there's a significance to lighting it now. So it's like you're on your spiritual journey now. Things are lighting up for you at the moment. But let's see what this all means. Pile number 2. So just like we did with your past, we're going to take a look at your oracle cards first. Whoa! The mentor. Didn't we say that you're here? Lighting the way to bring out some truth, as we see with Alethea here. Magnificent. With the owl, there's a lot of wisdom to you at the moment. Perhaps you're going through some sort of alchemical process of strength and learning a lot of information that you're ready to pass on to others. Pile number 2. Okay, especially that from your past lives, it was all about truth. It was all about information. In fact, you had Gabriel, the angel of the throat chakra, appearing. So you're here all about mentoring, saying out some truth, teaching others something. Wow, you have the starfish. Now, with the starfish archetype, I would say that you are someone who appears quite attractive to others. Again, the starfish is about creative energy as well. You do things that attracts the eye, or you yourself are very attractive, or your work is very attractive to others. Perhaps this is a sign of an A+, meaning that you're doing some great work that others absolutely love. Pile number 2. You're lighting the way here and being a mentor for others, speaking out the truth. Okay. You have the moon in Sagittarius with optimism. Love your energy. Pile number 2. Really do. Ooh, these are good times for you, my dear friend. So this is what your oracle cards looks like. You're still isolated, but I see that you have healed, my dear friend. You have healed. You've become very positive, you're greatly looking forward to life. I see a lot of power built up in you, and I see that you've blossomed, you've become attractive, I might add. Maybe it's part of your spiritual journey, since it's appearing in your reading. You're blooming, you're happier, there's a lot of music. People love listening to you. Pile number 2. You're so ready to take on this journey. Very impressive. Let's take a look at, with 5 and 1, 6. It's also a number of love. People are loving you. Pile number 2. Or about to love you. Let's see. You have the 2 of Pentacles. It's like you have the right recipe for something. You figured it out as well. And this is different energy than your past life. You're now in tune with your environment. You're taking a look at it. You're putting it into consideration. You're putting something together. For a lot of you, the 2 of Pentacles, you're putting something together here. Maybe a class or a new product, a new service, a podcast. You're cooking something. It's in your mind. You're building something in your mind. You're very artistic as well. And I see that in your spiritual journey at the moment, you're creating something that everyone will absolutely love, will be very attractive to others. You will be loved as well, pile number 2, as a teacher. You're bringing out light in the darkness, meaning in an area that was quite dark for a long time ago, from your past life as well. You're finally bringing it into the light. You have the 7 of Cups. Ooh, it is a time of you dreaming, imagining, putting things together. There's a lot of studying, reading, dreaming, thinking, imagining how you're going to bring out what's in your beautiful mind to the world. Whoa, the King of Wands. It's like you are light. You are light. Right? Again, I see people looking at you with amazement. You're attractive. What you're saying is attractive. Your dreams as well are attractive to others. Pile number 2. You're showing people the way with the light. There's now, okay. Now I'm seeing what's going on as well. Now the King of Wands is full of confidence, full of, look at me, I know what I'm saying and what I'm doing. So you're bringing this Leo energy back from your past life. You're now becoming in touch with it. You're not afraid to show how good you are just with the starfish. You stare at it. You're not afraid of being stared at now. Whereas in the past you had beautiful gifts that you kept to yourself. Now we're seeing healing of the shadow. After the black and the white, light is coming in. You're definitely healing, pile number 2, and you are putting something together beautifully that is going to blow up. Is going to be super attractive to everyone. You're exuding optimism. Your heart chakra is healing, and we can see. We even saw that in the past energy. Perhaps it's in the deck now. Perhaps in your teenage years, you were starting to heal, or in your early 20s, or maybe quite recently, who knows? But we can see in your past life, in your past reading, towards the end, you were healing and growing. And that's showing up, that's being picked up here in your present energy. You're quite an optimistic person. You've bloomed, you've healed from this past life, and you're ready to now shine again. Now is the time. Pile number 2. Whoa, you have the Queen of Wands, and isn't it surprising that you're right about to step into the fire, and again, you have someone telling you, wait, be careful this time. So you're full of energy, but I feel like this character or figure depicted in this Queen of Wands is not the world. This time it is you. And with the Queen of Wands, again, look at this. King of Wands, Queen of Wands, you're fueled with power, optimism, confidence, strength. You're ready to bring an idea out. You're cooking it, in fact. But this time, you're intuitively being guided to put yourself in other people's shoes and see how far they have gone in their journeys? What don't they understand? So here it's not about you, it's more about them. What they need from you. And this is how you're putting it together at the moment. You're being very careful this time to do it right. Blowing up with so much confidence. This is opposite energy here to the raccoon. You're blossoming. You're being seen all the time now. You're being admired and loved. You're exuding confidence and power. Pile number 2. Again, the King of Pentacles. My goodness, all these big court cards in your reading. You have the Hierophant. So much learning going on at the moment. I see you becoming an expert in something. It's like you always had it in you anyway. You're bringing your old knowledge from your past life. You're being reconnected to it. And it comes naturally to you to guide others with it. You pick it up so quickly. It's like you instantly know what to do. It's when you in you somehow, one way or the other. It's like you put on a suit of a doctor and you're a doctor, you know, something like that. And you have the 6 of Cups, showing that it was an old dream of yours from a past life that you are now tapping into. You're now beginning your real life journey that you've always wanted to do in the past life. Only this time with the King of Pentacles, you're earthing it. You're actually making it happen, making it come true. I see you're being introduced to others. It's like with it being introduced, if you are writing a book, doing a podcast, being a speaker with the mentor here, whatever it is that you're doing, other people are being introduced to you, are getting to know more about you, or will get to know about you. Also, with the King of Pentacles, it seems like you're tapping into good wealth at the moment. Not only is it successful this time, but it's also getting you wealth. It's getting you fame. It's creating optimism to you and the people around you. Pile number 2. You're now in teaching mode with the Hierophant. You see, the mentor. The Hierophant. You're really teaching and guiding others. You're tapping into that energy. And you're working on it. You're thinking. I see you thinking about something, putting things together, imagining. There's a lot of imagination in this card. My goodness. What I see here is like phasing out to tap into other people's energies, putting yourself in their place, living their lives, seeing what they need. So this is the opposite energy of your past life. Now you're so in tune with other people that you're helping, so that you're putting yourself in their shoes, in their cups, in their homes, in their businesses, in their work, and everything, imagining their lives fully in different people's lives, and so that you are able to more efficiently help them this time. Being very careful from the mistake in the past. Perhaps this mistake had to do a lot with the ego. You've healed the ego in this lifetime, where you're using it for, again, the greater good, and not just to show maybe how amazing you are. With the shadow of the Leo energy could be, I'm the only one. You can only listen to me and no one else. I know where your greater good is, not you. Yeah, we see that you're preventing that sort of energy, and you're really tapping into others, figuring it out the right way. While you always had the right message, it's the application that Saturn was teaching you here. Pile number 2. There's a lot of healthy emotions now in this life. You've grown, you've blossomed, you're a happy person. who has a lot of passion to really bring out that part of your soul and help others in their journey. So impressive, pile number 2, and I wish you really all the best of luck with this truth that you're bringing out. Lovely, lovely spiritual journey. Impressive is the right word. Impressive spiritual journey. Okay, so let me now clear out your present and let's take a look at your future, the future of your spiritual journey. It seems that in your present, not in the future, right in your present, you'll be attracting a lot of wealth, pile number 2. So look forward to that in this era of your life. All right, pile number 2. Let's now take a look at the future of your spiritual journey. Very excited about that. I wonder what you're going to do. So you have the sustainer, and you see how this archetype is holding a ball, or the way I see it, carrying the world ever so gently, with so much care and love. The sustainer, huh? Let's see what your reading is about. All right. So you have, whoa, you have the swan. Again, we're seeing this creative energy all over your reading. And of course, the swan, as you may know, always reminds me of the goddess Saraswati, where she rides the swan and she takes us to her to her world of fluid creativity and writing and poetry. So it's like you're presenting something, but creatively, pile number 2. So your spiritual journey is presenting something important, teaching something important, but you're doing it with so much creativity. And that's why you're a star. That's why people are loving what you're presenting here. It's like you're presenting an important topic or subject, but treating it with so much care and creativity so that everyone listens because you care so much. Pile number 2. My goodness, I'm loving your pile. Do you see what people otherwise didn't like listening to for one reason or the other? There's transformation here. You're making them listen to it with so much gentleness and softness and beauty that now they're ready to listen to you. There's so much care in your energy, pile number 2. So much softness and love and creativity, helping others listen to the very same things that otherwise they didn't like listening to. You're helping them in such a creative way. You know, this could be, for example, presenting the message with beautiful music so that they hear it out and open their hearts towards it. Or maybe the way you're presenting something is very creative and it makes people listen to it. And through this listening, there is great transformation. Wow, pile number 2. Saturn in Virgo with isolation. So I'm seeing that you're making something very accessible to people. What used to be inaccessible has become very accessible through your guidance. You're giving people an entrance to information or a new way of thinking that was inaccessible to them. Pile number 2. So interesting, so interesting. Okay, we have the Chariot. So the Chariot in Thoth instantly reminds me of the Merkaba, and that's what's discussed in Thoth. The Chariot in the Rider-Waite-Smith is always shows energy of moving quickly, which is true, moving towards something. But in Thoth, it's more still energy, because with the Merkaba, it's like there's spiritual or soul vehicle to ascension. So, seeing that, you're helping people move quickly in an area that was blocked in your future. There's an area that's moving very quickly. And as you move, you help them in the 3D move quickly. But overall, this is some sort of ascension to the planet, which you are respecting. You're respecting this journey with so much care. You're dealing with it with so much care and love. You're helping others learn. And you're putting so much effort into being creative. That's why in your present, you're thinking a lot and dreaming, putting yourself in other people's shoes. This time, you're presenting it in a very creative way. Pile number 2. Ooh, you sure have developed. Talking about ascension, North Node developing. Did you see the shift in your energy from your past life, where I'm the leader, listen to me, to being so in tune with everyone and with the planet that you've went as far as being super creative? And that's why you had the raccoon. You were always super creative and super skilled. Always. And you're using these skills to help with the overall ascension in the 3D, moving quickly in an area, but overall ascension to the planet in one area, from one phase to another. A global ascension here. You have the 8 of Swords in an area where people felt drained and just couldn't do it. It was tough. You're helping them understand it better, so they're not as drained. It's like whenever they think about this topic, they're like, oh, I can't deal with this. I don't want to hear about this. It's draining me out. I hate it. You're taking that energy and you're transforming it into something that is very enjoyable. Just like the goddess Saraswati taking us into her beautiful fluid land of creativity and enjoyment and fun. Fluid writing. Beautiful. Helping in some ascension process. You have the 3 of Swords. We'll talk about that in a second. You have the 6 of Swords, a lot of swords in your reading this time in the future. We're seeing a lot of thinking. There's a lot of thought process. Beautiful thought process going into this. It's a work of a lifetime that will be passed on to generation, well, from one generation to the other. A lot of research, a lot of thinking. Yeah, definitely a lot of thought put into this. It might look all pretty and beautiful on the outside, but you, my dear friend, have worked a lot, or will have worked so hard to bring this part out of you properly in this lifetime. You have the Magician. The Ace of Pentacles. And you have Temperance. I see with Temperance here really finally making it come true. This mission complete. You know, turning the Temperance is all about the energy of turning water into wine, achieving something, celebrating it as well, as you can see it here. So you will be completing your life mission beautifully. I see you being greatly supported in your mission. It's kind of like you taking a step and it just works out. And while the whole world will put it in your name, and it's true, you deserve it in your name, but with your efforts, everything is working out for you so that you can complete this mission. Pile number 2. So impressive. So impressive. let's take a look at the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Magician, which really makes me understand why you had the Hierophant in your present. You're learning a lot. You're getting a lot of information. Yes, you know how to do it naturally, that's for sure. But you're also learning so much, and we can really see it here. There's a lot of digging into old information, or digging into, not old information. What I want to say in specific is digging into information that most people don't look at. And through this digging and researching, it's not an easy process with the Eight of Swords. Sometimes you'll feel like, oh, I cannot find the right information to put it together with the Three of Swords. It's like there's a lot. There's a lot of mental pain, I want to say, but nothing horrible. Just like any mental exercise that we go through to put things together, to bring a work of geniosity out into the world. In the beginning, it's not going to be easy in your future, because you will be dealing with a lot of challenges that need a lot of research. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're frustrated trying to put it together, but slowly but surely, with the Six of Swords, you will find your way out. You will create important pieces of work that will be the basis to something that will set a new foundation in the world. With the Magician, it's like people are going to be wondering, how did pile number 2 do that? Oh my God, how did pile number 2 create it with such geniosity? It's almost like magic. It's entertaining. It's beautiful to listen to. And it's genius. You figured it out. And so you've mentored it or presented it. That's why you've presented it in a very attractive way. This theme is moving forward, but I see you in the future doing it even more with more important work, or more important topics within your work, that will not only move us forward in the world, but will help humanity ascend as well, with the Merkaba and the Chariot here. It will almost seem like a magical piece of work that will greatly be celebrated in your name, especially that I see the hand. It's like you have your fingerprint in this work. And I see you completing your spiritual journey, my beautiful pile number 2. Perhaps you may even be celebrating it with a special one. Who knows, pile number 2? All the best of luck with that. All the best of luck. Perhaps you'll have your soul family, a special loving partner, your whole family, your friends, your dear ones. I see you completing this mission, being celebrated and celebrating it with your dear loved ones. Pile number 2, as well as creating wealth starting from now in this phase of your life. Healing your heart chakra and doing something very significant for the world. With the Sustainer, this is something that will continue to go on from one generation to the other. Kudos to you, pile number 2. I'm wishing you all the best of luck in the spiritual journey. May you be blessed and do great things for the world. Thank you for all of this beautiful effort that you're putting in, taking a look at your whole story, especially from your past life. I have great admiration for you. I'm super impressed, especially at the Merkaba, the spiritual journey that you've been through. Going from, I know the way, listen to me, to changing this way into seeing what others are not seeing, putting yourself in their place and bringing out this creative energy that's all over your reading to change the world in a very smart way. I'm so impressed. I don't know what you're up to, but I know if you want to tell me about it, that I will be very impressed with it. And I'm wishing you all the best of luck from my heart with it, pile number 2. So pile number 2, that was your reading. I wish you all the best of luck, as I said, in your journey. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. Pile number 2, you may really need it in your journey. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying this process. And so if you're interested in this ebook, you'll find a link down in the description box to it with all the information that you might need, as well as reviews to it and everything. And pile number 2, it was really such a pleasure getting to know you, being connected to you, and for you to allow me to do your reading for you. I love being connected with amazing people like you. Thank you. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. If you love the card picking process and the shuffling, I always leave this section specially for you. But if you clicked here by accident and you wanted to start your reading right away, you'll find the timestamp to your reading right under the one you've just clicked on. Okay, so let me introduce the cards that we will be using to you. Obviously, we'll be using the tarot deck that you have chosen, but the oracle decks that we will be using for your reading are lined up right at the bottom here. We'll be using one for each of the piles. We have 3 piles for your reading. We'll be doing past, present, and future. All right, so now let's start shuffling with intention. And let's ask, what is your spiritual journey? Your past, present, and future. I want to set this intention with this deck and any deck that I use for this reading, please. So what is pile number 3's spiritual journey? Their past, present, and future. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at your oracle deck. Oh, thanks. 1, 2, and 3. I really feel this one for 3. I had to fight myself not to take it, and I felt that we're supposed to take it. Okay, so 2 of these for the future pile. Okay, now moving on to the oracle deck. Oh, I forgot to tell you. That's the right way up. If you're interested in any of the decks that I use and you want to know its name, thank you very much. You'll always find that I leave their names down in the description box. All right, I feel, yeah, that's the one for pile for the present. There we go. Now on to our last oracle deck. I feel these 2. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, now let's use the tarot deck that you have chosen. We'll take the beautiful Amazonite right there, heart right there. And we will be picking out 7 cards for each of the 3 piles, or the 3 times, the past, the present, and the future. I already feel this one, I feel this one, and this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so now the 3 piles are ready. All right, right, let's now put them together neatly. Put the 3 piles neatly. That's your beautiful Amazonite heart right there. Let's take pile number 1. Sorry, I mean the past. Let's take the past energy. There we go. Now, present energy. There we go. And the future. That is also ready. There we go, our 3 piles already, past, present, and future. So excited to dive deep into your reading, pile number 3. I love these type of readings and I would love to explore more about you. Let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. As you can see, during the card preparation process, we have divided your cards into 3 piles. We're going to be taking a look at your past, present, and future. Starting right now with your past. Let's take a look at what your spiritual journey was like in your past. Oh, we have the orphan. And if you hear any background noise, please do know that this is my dog. I always keep him right next to me, so apologies about that. You have the orphan. You also have, wow, the owl energy in your past. Amazing. Okay. You have pretty interesting oracle card to get in your past as well. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of understanding what this is trying to say. And you have the moon in Aries with protection. I kind of see here with the orphan and the baby here is that you are somehow considered to be a special child. A protected soul. Yeah, protection. Do you see? Protection. A protected soul. Okay. Yeah. A protected soul, not to be touched or harmed. Really interesting to start your reading like that so far. Let's now take a look at your tarot cards. Whoa, starting off with the High Priestess. Talk about a spiritual journey. Your cards are very big, especially when it comes to your past. Very big cards to start with the past. So you have the High Priestess. I'll organize them later. I feel like this one wants to come out. So let's see what this is. A very special soul. You have the Sun. The Ace of Pentacles. The Five of Wands. The Ace of Swords. 2 aces so far. The Page of Pentacles. And the Magician. I gotta say, these are big cards for the past, for sure. So with the owl here, I feel like you were born as an old soul. I feel like you have come here many lifetimes. I feel like people would look up to you from very early on in your childhood and say, whoa, this child is very wise for their age. You would say a lot of things to your parents, your friends, teachers that would seem like you are far ahead from your age group. You have a lot of understanding of life for your age. First of all, we can clearly see that you're not just a highly intuitive soul, but also a soul that has learned a lot in its past lives. Also, I cannot help but tell you, you seem to be very unique. Perhaps we'll find out more. But you do strike me as someone who was really seen in their past lives. You've been through a lot of important events throughout the history of humanity. A lot of wars, a lot of wins, a lot of popularity. And you were always here trying to rectify something. You're always here in a mission, trying to fix something, trying to adjust something to be better, to save those who have no one. You have a big heart. As a child, you always had a heart to help those who were in need, who were alone, who didn't have as much advantages as you had. You felt for everyone. You were always someone who would quickly extend their hand to help out. Yes, a child who had a lot of empathy for others, who would feel for others, who would understand situations pretty well. As a child, you had an intuitive feeling or a nudge when things didn't go right. So even if things looked great from the outside, you were able to discern at a very young age when there was passive aggressiveness, when people were being mean to each other, if they had bad intentions. Yes, you seem to be a magical child who had many pairs of eyes. It's like, yes, you were able, with your intuition, to discern between the things that weren't said, not just the things that were said. You were able to see the things that were not in your 3D, meaning you were able to understand that something may be going wrong or right, depending on what is happening now. Very smart child, for sure. You were also, it seems you were very gifted as a child. From an early age, not only were you recognized as being someone wise for their age, but people quickly pointed out that you were smart, that you were gifted, and you were given, it seems, a lot of nice opportunities that you will be using in the future in your spiritual journey. You were given unique opportunities, perhaps unique learning as well, with the Ace of Swords. A unique school, maybe a unique opportunity to learn things. Maybe your parents helped you join unique activities. You had special teachers. Yeah, you were exposed to unique opportunities as a young child, pile number 1, that perhaps not many others had. And this, again, was to help you in your future spiritual journey. You were given these opportunities, unique opportunities, to add on to the wisdom that you already have and the past experiences that you had. Because it seems to me that you have a very unique spiritual journey here. It was always unique, and it seems to me that you're always here trying to rectify something not going right. It's like you're a savior. When the world is just about to go corrupt one way or the other, you are here to change skin, come and save the day. It's like you're a superhero, really. A very, very special soul. And the reason it's so special is because it seems like you have been here for centuries. You've done so much. And there's more to do in this lifetime. I see two energies here with protection and orphan. Perhaps for a lot of you, but that's not necessarily. You had one parent that was really there for you, and maybe another parent, for one reason or the other, wasn't really there or couldn't be there. But despite all of that, pile number 3, I do see that you have blossomed and lived quite a happy childhood overall. With the sun, this specific oracle card, it did seem to be a nice life. Perhaps very happy for a lot of you. You were well taken care of. You were given unique opportunities, and you were able to shine with the magician. At an early age, we can observe the different skills that you had. You yourself were able to realize that you were skilled and unique. Some of you could have been playing with... you know how some children play with electronics, open it up and discover them? That could be for some of you. Others were interested in science. Some of you were interested in reading. You were just a very skilled child who was very curious, and people were able to realize that you had a lot of potential for your future, for sure. You impressed a lot of people as a child, pile number 3. Many people could see that you have a bright future, that you will be presenting something nice when you grow up, that you had a lot to give. And yes, some of you could have even been popular, but others, you just grabbed a lot of attention because of your intelligence, your wisdom, your soul, your wise old soul, empathetic, loving soul. Pile number 3. Yes, you have been in a long journey. It's very evident in your past reading. That is for sure. And highlighting how you have this superhero quality to you throughout your past lives. You have here in the Sun card, le voyage à travers l'impossible, means the journey through the impossible. So you're always here doing something that seems impossible to others, with great knowledge, with great knowing, and with great confidence, courage, with great courage, coming here to protect the world from something. It's always within your spiritual journey to come here like a superhero to protect the world from something. Very impressive, pile number 3. What can I say? Such an impressive reading. Now that we've had a good look at your past and your past life as well, let's take a look at your present energy. I'll clear this up. Also put the cards in this deck in case we want to use it, and get to your present energy. All right, pile number 3, let's take a look at your present energy. And as usual, we'll be taking a look first at your oracle cards. Wow, so you have the bridge for the present energy. again, we have this idea of heroism, because with the bridge, it always reminds me of the Norse mythology, the burning rainbow. And so it reaches between the earth and the heavens and transports gods, but also the men who have proven to be warriors and to protect and to help people and the world with the gods, like Odin. So we can already see again this idea of you being regarded as a very special soul indeed. But other than that, let's see how the bridge speaks about your spiritual journey in the present. Pile number 3. Whoa, so you have the fox, and the fox archetype reminds me of business. So perhaps you're connecting spirituality with business in some way, or connecting two areas, two unique areas here in business. You're bringing two things together, bridging something, a gap, a sort of demand that wasn't supplied to, or a demand that wasn't attended to before. So we see in your current energy a lot of intelligence, but a lot of business savviness that is part of your spiritual journey at the moment. Very cool, pile number 3. You have Jupiter in Gemini with bluff. Yes, do you see the idea of not seeing something? You're bridging something that was not seen before. Perhaps as well with bluff, I would say the reason it wasn't bridged before, maybe because there was a lot of lying in the area. A lot of deception, a lot of hiding going on. And I see you bringing light to it. Again, you coming as a hero here to bridge something that otherwise maybe wouldn't have been properly bridged. Maybe? Let's see. Let's find out. Pile number 3. Ooh. So with this oracle card, it's like you're learning and educating others as you're learning. You're showing the way for something that wasn't seen before. And you're doing it with a lot of business savviness with you to help you out here. This business savviness, I would say you probably picked up very well. It's very intrinsic to you. Do you see how this girl or this figure is wearing yellow, and this fox is all in yellow? I would say it's like you were born with it. You had it from past lives. It was passed on from one life to the other. This wisdom and this knowingness of how to make things work is part of who you are. Maybe others knew about it, but with your business skills and with your vision, you're finally able to bridge this gap here. So everyone listens to what's going on here. Let's take a look at your tarot cards, pile number 3. What is that? So first off, right away, we have the 8 of Cups, the King of Swords, the 2 of Swords, the King of Pentacles. A lot of king energy, do you see? It's like you have an inner knowing to you. You're already you're able to function like an expert who's had this position for years. Okay. Despite initially not knowing so much, but it's like you have this leadership and knowing, just this common sense to you that is not so common to others. You have the Death card. Can we put it here? Yes, we can. You have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is the source of the element of the wands. It's the source of creation. In Thoth, it's related to Keter, the beginning of creation. And you have the Six of Swords. Let me adjust these and come back. With the Death card, I clearly see that this is a transformational part of your life. We clearly see it as well with the Eight of Cups, of you moving towards your spiritual journey, no doubt about it. You're equipped with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of information, skills. You've had unique experiences ever since you were a child that has led up to this moment. And you are also equipped with resources. I see with the Fox energy here that you will be successful at creating a lot of wealth that will help you out in bridging this gap, in doing something, I gotta say, heroic, especially with this child listening to a story here. Most children's stories pertain a hero who has done something great. I clearly see here that extending from your past to the present, you're now being hailed, being a leader, seen as a hero. Your story will be passed on as a hero. And now you're slowly but surely, with the Six of Swords, creating something, beginning something. Remember when we said the Ace of Wands is like, this is where creation started, where everything started. So you're starting now. Things are moving, energy is moving. This great success and this great journey, spiritual journey, is starting now. You'll be considered as a hero. You may not, with the Two of Swords, exactly see what I'm talking about. Pile number 3. The two things are with you, the knowledge and the resources. They're right on the table, but you cannot see them at the moment. You do, however, intuitively feel and understand what I'm saying, because it's about to start, or for a lot of you, it has started, but you cannot really see the way exactly. You're not sure how you're going to do it, but you have a lot of faith in your business skills, in your skills in general, despite the fact that you cannot see the way. You know that you can lead, and you know that you want to do something big. You want to help. You want to transform something yourself. And so this is a time where you're creating this. You're figuring it out. You're trying to see how you can slowly move towards that. For a lot of you, you could be students who are still learning. Maybe you are extending your studies or taking more. Perhaps you're doing your master's, some of you are doing your PhD, or maybe you're just simply reading about the field or educating yourself about the business aspect of what you want to do. Pile number 3. But all you know is that you don't belong to one team or the other. You're here to bridge these two together and to say that none of you is necessarily right or wrong. Each party has a great point of view, and now it's time to put it together. You know, the quickest example I quickly think about when I take a look at these bridging between two things is perhaps spirituality and science, where they're not really separated as we think. It's not team spirituality and team science. It's just creation overall. It's one thing, and we shouldn't just be looking at one thing or the other. It's taking a look at everything, a kind of energy. But of course, it doesn't necessarily have to do with science and spirituality. That's just a quick example that I can see here. They're not against each other, but with each other. They complement each other in order for us to really see the true, complete picture. With this specific death card, I feel like you have been waiting for a long time. What has kept you waiting like that? Pile number 3. It's like you're all dressed up, do you see? All dressed up nicely, waiting to do it, but it took you a long time. Why? Why did it take you such a long time? It's like you're ready. You are a wise soul. You're with the High Priestess as well from the past. We can greatly see that you're someone who has this inner knowing, who has gone through a lot. Brilliant business mind. Yeah, my question is like you. Why did it take you such a long time? Especially with the Two of Swords. It's like you're ready with everything. And all we need is this play button to start, which is about to start for you now, slowly. But why did you wait for a long time? Let's find out together. Now, being drawn to the Amazonite to remove it and to access your deck, the Amazonite is all about filtration of the environment. Perhaps your environment needed to be ready for you to begin. There is a specific timing for when you should start so that everything is ready for you. I think this kind of answered our question, but let's just pull 2 cards and get more information while these work quick. 1, 2. So, 7 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, with the 7 of Cups, it's like your superhero powers were waiting for the right moment to begin. There was a hold with the Queen of Swords. A hold until the right time, just as we've realized with your Amazonite. It's just that it wasn't the right time. With the 7 of Cups, it's like thinking, not knowing when to jump into it, what to do. It wasn't clear. Yeah, there was a hold until this was free for you to begin. So, yeah, the timing was necessary for your mission. Had you done the same things a little bit before it, it wouldn't have had the same effect. Pile number 3, perhaps the world needed to catch up with you one way or the other. Your vision is about to manifest now. Interesting. I wonder what this vision is about. Let's do for your pile a special revelation, especially with all that we can't see here. I'm kind of really curious about your pile, especially that you've come here as a superhero. Yeah, see, Ace of Swords to bring clarity. This was part of your cards. Let's keep it here. I wonder, what are you here to bridge between? I'm sure it's going to differ from one person to the other. 2 teams bringing 2 things together. So let's ask and get more information at least about it. What are you bridging between? 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm quite curious to find out. You have Temperance, balancing something. Wow. Okay. You have the 5 of Swords. The Hierophant. Ten of Cups. And the Page of Pentacles. We can clearly see that there was a war, or there is a war between something that is very traditional and free thought, finding a balance way of thinking. We can see this figure looking towards the Temperance. So this war, you're coming to save something that has been traditionally done for maybe thousands of years or hundreds, maybe, I don't know, in a way that was quite stubborn, to bringing flexibility, to bring balance into the equation. You're not here to cancel one or the other. You're here to bring them together. Through this process, we see with the Page of Pentacles a new way of doing something, a new way of starting something. Also, along with that is the Ten of Cups, a lot of emotional satisfaction that comes with it. You're bringing happiness, perhaps freeing people. This is why there's a lot of emotional expression in this specific question, in answering this specific question. Bridging the two, not canceling one or the other, but balancing something else out, will be helping a lot of regular people that aren't necessarily in the field, but the general people, families, making people live a happier life. And with the Page of Pentacles, it's a new way, a new age, a new era of doing something. Yes, just as the Amazonite suggests, it's the filtration of toxicity in the air. Yeah, there we go. Clearing the air on something so that people can finally live a more balanced, healthier life. Very impressive, pile number 3. What a mission. Very much impressed with your business skills. That is definitely going to be key in helping you spread this and getting you resources to spread this message. Very impressive. I will be clearing this present energy out because I'm super curious about what you're going to be doing in the future. Pile number 3. All right, so now let's take a look at the future of your spiritual journey, pile number 3. As always, yes, your pile you had, sorry, not your pile, the future of your spiritual journey. While preparing the cards, you got 2 of these. Now I'm quite curious to know what they are. And as usual, like I was saying, we'll be taking a look at your oracle cards first. Whoa. So you have the animal. We can clearly see that you have a strong vision that you want to apply. You know what you want to do, pile number 3. So I see your future being led by this specific vision. Okay, let's keep this here. Whoa, you have the Phoenix. We clearly see that in your future, you're helping something rise from the ashes. It just wasn't working right. Perhaps it was super corrupted, and you're really making it rise and thrive with this vision. Very clear. You also have Jupiter in Scorpio with manipulation. You can see right through. Yes, didn't we see? You can see right through the lies, the corruption, the things that weren't exactly going right. And let's see what these 2 are. So that's the first oracle card. We see in the future that you have bypassed a phase, bypassed something that perhaps was not allowed for you to cross or anyone to cross. Again, the idea of moving between 2 worlds, showing, exposing, making everyone see that there isn't one specific way or the other, that we can cross that and find what we want outside of our comfort zone. This way we all rise. Maybe the change is not comfortable, but it will definitely make all of us happy. I see you creating this awareness. And here I feel like you're not afraid. That's for sure. You're protecting yourself, in fact, in the same way. See, with this teddy bear here, you're protecting yourself with the same way and the same rules that have been set for everyone, so that nobody transpasses something. And I see you transpassing it, opening up the door and not being afraid, actually being protected, because you've used the same door, you've used the same ways to perhaps transpass the system, the laws of the system maybe. And this is not surprising to me, because with the fox, you come across as very savvy, very smart, very foxy. And you're using this intelligence to, no, I don't want to say trap, but to help everyone out of this trap. It's what used to be super scary is not going to be scary anymore. With the ABC, I feel like you're putting a plan, a clear... Do you see these 2 yellow balls? Do you see that? I feel like you're kind of tricking, you're leaving one entity to look at something while you transpass something else. There's a lot of foxy energy, and that's why you have the animal here, borrowing from the energy that we saw in the fox in your current reading. So we see a lot of high intelligence. Yeah, that's why you have the high priestess from the very beginning. This intelligence, this savviness that you are using is unbeatable, because this is not newborn savviness. This is the intelligence that you've collected throughout centuries. You've done this perhaps 1,000,000 times before, where we see a story of a true hero that helped everyone out of a certain trap. Pile number 3, out of the manipulation that was happening, the lies, the darkness. You were able to see through that and help everyone else see it with you and protect themselves as they do. And through that, you are rising and you're helping everyone rise. And that's why you had the bridge. You're moving from one phase to the other, just like a hero. True hero, pile number 3. Wow. Let's take a look at what your tarot cards have. So you have the Page of Swords. Again, heroic energy, capable of fighting with courage, without any fear. You can see in the background the trees are dying. Things are being corrupt, and you're there standing strong, saving everything. The Page of Swords is someone who speaks with courage, someone who's not afraid to say what they have on their minds, and someone who's very well-spoken as well. Someone who's very eloquent. You have the 4 of Wands. With the 4 of Wands, I feel here that you will be greatly loved and appreciated. Pile number 3. For your courage and for your knowledge and for speaking up. Yeah, do you see? It's like the look we have towards heroes. You're considered a great hero to others who will greatly admire you. Pile number 3. Wow. Okay. You have the 2 of Wands, bringing 2 things, balancing out together. You've succeeded here and created the balance in the future. This is the balance that we've been taking a look at the whole time. And in this specific 2 of Wands, we see that this figure is presenting in a great spectacle. So you're being seen. Yes, you're being seen here. Everyone's watching you, where you're teaching and showing everyone how the balance makes all the sense of the world. It's easily achieved, and you're being an example yourself for it. You have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is an end of a cycle. So you're ending a very tough cycle for everyone in one area or the other. Pile number 3. Again, another page energy with the Page of Wands, and it's falling right under the Page of Swords. Now, come on, we're seeing great courage, great confidence, hero energy for sure. Not being afraid of defending and fighting for something and standing up for something. I feel like the page energies, maybe not the fastest like the ones, but they're the most courageous, because you know how the younger you are and the more oblivious you are, the more courageous you are, because sometimes you don't even know the circumstances and you're able to do bolder things than what other people do. But in your case, you have this courageous energy, but with a lot of wisdom that is very inherent from the very beginning, and perhaps even from your past life. So we're seeing this mélange, this mix between the boldness of the young and the wisdom of the old. Pile number 3. And talk about knights. You have the Knight of Wands. And last but not least, I was going to put it right in the middle. You have the Justice card. You will create justice just like a hero in one area that is very important. May I say quite corrupt? By shifting the attention somewhere else and leading others out of this trap. Maybe you'll be using the law as well. Remember when we said you'll be using the same laws that trapped others to free others, to free them. Very deep reading. And so with the Knight of Wands, the fastest knight in the deck, we see that you're doing this quickly and swiftly, with a lot of skill, perhaps preparation before you start. But once you start this process, it's like, look what is the example? What's the quote? Look at the bird. Where's the bird? And then with some legal action or something, some great planning, you're getting some rights here. As the superhero that you have always were in your past life. Such smart being, such a smart soul with a vision and a lot of courage that helps, saves the planet, saves the world one way or the other. As you always have, pile number 3, I'm so impressed. And I'm so honored to have met you or connected with you, even through a tarot reading. I wish you all the best of luck. And thank you for always being this soul that is willing to take that step for everyone and help everyone out of a trap. Thank you so much, pile number 3. I wish you nothing but the best in your spiritual journey. May you always be blessed. And this was your reading. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It really might help you out with your journey, pile number 3, this beautiful spiritual journey. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that and really feel like it's going to help you out in your spiritual journey even more, please don't forget to check it out. You'll find the link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 3, it was such a pleasure doing this reading for you. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. If you love the card picking process and the shuffling, I always leave this section specially for you. But if you clicked here by accident and you want to start your reading right away, you'll find the link to your reading right under this one. All right, so now let's start picking our piles. We'll be dividing your reading into 3: your past, present, and future. And these are the oracle decks that we will be using for your reading. And of course, this will be the tarot deck that we will be using, and that's the main one that you have chosen. And so let's now shuffle with intention. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, you want to know its name, I always leave them down in the description box for you to check them out if you want. All right, so let's set our intention for this reading. For the deck that I'm using and any deck that we will be using for pile number 4, we want to know, what is pile number 4's spiritual journey in terms of their past, present, and future? Thank you so much. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now let's move on to the next deck. And again, shuffle with intention. Ooh. Okay, so 1, 2, is that? And 3. All right. Moving on to the next oracle deck. And again, let's shuffle with intention. May we kindly get more information about pile number 4's spiritual journey, past, present, and future. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. Okay, so now we'll be picking up your beautiful tarot deck, and we will be taking 7 cards for each of the 3 piles that we have for the past, present, and future. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, and 7. Okay, we'll keep this here in case we want to take a look at more information during the reading. And let's put the 3 piles, the past and the present and the future, neatly together. So let's take that. All right, so here we have the past. Here we have the present. And here we have the future. There we go. Now we have the reading ready for you, pile number 4. Thank you for spending this time with me. I always enjoy your energy. And let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. As you can see, during the card picking process, we have divided this reading into 3. We're going to take a look at your past, present, and future, starting, of course, with your past. The first thing we're going to do to take a look at your spiritual journey is look at your oracle cards. Wow. So you have the Hunter. What a card to begin the reading. Okay, you have no. You know, right before I turned this one, I was like, what if this was a horse too? Wow, do you see that? There's a lot of things to be said about that. We can clearly see that you had a past life of chivalry. Perhaps you were a knight, you were royal, maybe you fought in wars. You had a big position in your past life. Quite chivalry, quite knightly. Yeah, from a very unique, I have to say, it's like I'm getting royal energy straight away from your reading, pile number 4. And with that, you do see the moon on the horse showing spirituality. So a lot of royalty as well as spirituality. You have Saturn in Sagittarius with fulfillment. Quite interesting. You're quite lucky in your past, pile number 4. This is the talisman for winning the lottery. Yeah, we do see a businessman or a wealthy man sitting there waiting for their shipment. You were in great positions in your past lives. You were always wealthy, well off, a knight or a king of some sort. Let's find out more about you, pile number 4. So this is your oracle deck. We can see again the idea of you being comfortable, living a happy life. You had wealth, you had all the things that you wanted, you were well fed, you were good looking with the mirror appearing here. Your house had a nice view. Yeah, you were living a very luxurious life. We're going to see why this is tying into your spiritual reading. But obviously, we can straight away see that you had a comfortable, lavish life in your past lives. With a great position, with a lot of wealth, a lot of fulfillment, and yeah, a lot of power as well. Okay. So you have the 9 of Swords. The thing that I saw straight away here is that as opposed to this beautiful life that you've had in your past, you see how the horse's light is narrowing down into some darkness. So seeing this 9 of Swords, again with the view, we kind of see that you've jumped. In fact, with this insect, I kind of feel like we've had a computer look at your past, and now we're coming into your present. So this time, you're being born into a family that values education greatly. But your soul is kind of sad here with the 9 of Swords. There's discomfort with the 9 of Swords. There's maybe a bit of stress because all the great wealth and open life that you've had in the past has suddenly narrowed down in this life, where it's still, to most people, it's comfortable, it's beautiful, it's quite well off, it's lovely, but your soul was always used to this lavish lifestyle, as we see here. And so what is great for everyone else may have been a bit uncomfortable for you, pile number 4. But education is being presented here greatly. Your family is doing well and is very focused on your education. I feel like this lifetime, especially you as a child, suddenly felt like it's a bit stressful. You're used to freedom. You're used to running like a horse, doing whatever you want. You're being tamed in this lifetime, especially that we have Saturn here. So there's a challenge in this lifetime that is an important part of your spiritual journey. And it was not easy for you to accept that in the beginning. Pile number 4. You have the Hermit. Yeah, this created a lot of spiritual awakening. You really had to go within to see the light, because the experience for you was not easy. You had to develop a lot of wisdom that, although you were well read and educated in the past, this wisdom could have only come from this challenge, or at least how you see it, pile number 4. You have the Fool. Lovely energy. So there's a new start, a new way of living life. You've learned in this process to equally enjoy what you have, which is great news, by the way, pile number 4. I'm not surprised, actually, because of all this spirituality present in your reading. It was perhaps a little uncomfortable, but we did not wait until now, because the present we didn't open your present reading yet, and so it may have been uncomfortable, but I do see you have quickly went within. You've learned to accept. Maybe it's not as lavish as it used to be in all of your past lives, but you've learned to love what you have, and you've learned to enjoy your life immensely. Pile number 4. You must have had wonderful parents. You have the Moon. A highly spiritual child, indeed. Quite interesting. Okay. You have the 4 of Swords. A deep thinker as well, as I see. Highly spiritual, deep thinker. Yes, I see that this spirituality and your thought process has really helped you overcome the stress that was present in the early ages of your life. It helped you quickly evolve and jumpstart a happier journey here in the early part of your life. You have the Knight of Cups. Again, the happy energies always shows up at the end. I see you full of life, full of love, full of wanting to explore. That Knight energy is pumping right back into your blood, and you're ready to fly off and explore and gain back your freedom. Maybe not in the same way where you used to ride your horse, but we see you're being free through your spirituality here. And we have the 3 of Cups. We see that you were quite a fun person in your childhood. Yes, you were a deep thinker. Yes, you were quite spiritual. You looked closely at nature. You were able to see and notice many things that others did not notice. But at the same time, you come across as someone who had a happy childhood overall. You had a couple of close friends that you've had a lot of fun with. You've enjoyed your time immensely during that part of your life. Maybe in the beginning there were things that you just couldn't accept, but the amazing thing about your reading, pile number 4, and pile number 4 is a pile that always intrigues me. We do see an early evolvement in your journey of you becoming, in you growing very early, at a very early stage of your life, overcoming the stress, learning to accept and to love and to enjoy and have fun with everything that you have. You come across as someone who's very explorative, someone who wants to find freedom and explore the world and see the beautiful thing about it, which is very much part of who you always were with the Knight here. Very explorative, quite open-minded, loves creating things and creating wealth. Yeah, you just know how to enjoy life, whether you have the luxury or not, or whether with big things or small things, your soul always tends to find the light and find the way. Pile number 4. We see here some foreshadowing from the early childhood into who you're going to become, especially spiritually. You see a beautiful black cat gazing into the pool here or in the water, and looking back at it is a big panther. And so maybe you've witnessed some spiritual experiences when you were younger, or maybe you were able to get attuned or in touch with your intuition. You've seen things one way or the other as a little child, letting you understand that you're more magical than it seems that you are. It seems like you were a child that believed so much in magic. We see brooms flying all over the place here in your past reading. You believed in magic, perhaps you knew you were magic, and you might have seen special experiences here and there. Pile number 1, seeing your dreams coming true, or expecting something and seeing it happen. So you've got in touch with that magical side of you early on. Pile number 4. Pretty interesting. Nothing short of the type of energy that I always see in pile number 4, really. All right, so now I'm going to clear this out, and we're going to take a look at your present energy. All right, pile number 4, let's take a look at your energy now, your spiritual journey at the moment. And I wonder, being all that in your childhood, what could you be like now? Pile number 4. Your cards are really stunning. You have the 1. Who are you, pile number 4? And what is going on? Okay. Right. You also have the Lizard. You know what this instantly reminds me of? You know how, and of course I'm joking here, but you know how some conspiracy theories say there are lizard people? You know? What I want to say is not that I don't want to say that you are lizard people, of course, at all. What I am trying to say is that it's like you are a unique species. We hear species, meaning it's like you came from the stars, from a highly developed planet initially. You're here in a very fiery, important mission. In fact, can you believe it, pile number 4? I forgot to light the candle in pile number, all of reading pile number 3. And with your reading, the light came out. We started lighting. Perhaps from a distant star or something of the sort. Let's find out more. You know how the lizards sometimes they are able to blend in their environment. And so maybe you are out of place when it comes to your soul, but you're blending in the planet beautifully. It's the kind of energy that I'm seeing, solar energy. This is your oracle card. You know, it kind of reminds me again of the helmet that astronauts wear, right? When traveling. So again, this idea of traveling, being out of tune to your world. It's like you're supposed to fit in, but you really don't feel like you fit in. You're too developed, and so you don't like what's happening now. Perhaps why you have all of this royal energy. in your reading. You were in a far better place. Perhaps even royalty, leader, where you come from. Highly developed place, and it wasn't easy for you, the experience here on the planet, is what I'm seeing. So right now, as we're taking a look at your energy, you're being attuned to the world now, to where you are. You're starting your spiritual journey now. You have a very, very important mission specific to you, obviously, and you're starting to little by little drop the roses and feel more attuned, or drop the shock and little by little get attuned. You'll never lose who you are. Obviously, you're a star child, and but you're learning to adapt. To continue your spiritual journey is the kind of energy that I'm seeing. You have Mercury in Capricorn with organization. See, I'm kind of seeing that you're here to put something into order, to help out with the knowledge that you have. Despite the fact that you always felt out of place, now that you're tuning into your environment, you have ideas about how you want to lead the future, helping put something in place, in order, the way it is where you come from. You're bringing that inner wisdom with you. All right, let's take a look now. You have the Five of Swords at your present energy. You have the Five of Swords. Let's push these down a little bit. The Six of Wands. Quite an interesting journey here, from the Five of Swords to the Six of Wands. You have Death. The King of Wands. The Empress. The Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Cups with the Ten of Wands. Wow. Look at that pile number 4. You have 11. So the 1 is 1. And then this is number 1. 1, right? 1 plus 1 is 0. 10 is 1 plus 0 is, 1 plus 0 is 1. 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. 10 plus 1, 10 is 1, the same thing. 1 plus 0 is 1. So you have a lot of ones in your reading. It kind of, this is a strong synchronicity, showing here that you are here on a very special mission that you specifically are here to do on your own. You're divinely guided. I feel like suddenly now, understanding all of this, where you come from, all of you are highly spiritual beings, highly evolved, and you're bringing this knowledge and this help to Earth. This is what I'm seeing here, especially with the King of Wands. You do see working on the planet, guiding a different type of species or beings than you in general on the planet. You see a lot of codes here. It's like you have an inherent knowledge in you that you will be discovering. It's like you're with the Empress here. You are being reborn. You're being connected to that special knowledge that we're seeing here. With that, of course, you have death, the transformation. The tens always show that, again, it's an end of a tough cycle and a beginning of a very happy one with the Ten of Cups. So with putting things in order, with the Five of Swords, things used to be tricky. Look, pile number 4. Do you see here how 3 witches are preparing something together, and this third witch perhaps got carried away and was so obsessed about winning that they hurt the other people, that the other witches that was working with them, and this caused maybe this person to win now but lose the people who cooperated with them later. And so we see the type of energy that you had to endure, perhaps you being a highly evolved soul in general, being capable of overcoming, yeah, we put your cards back, being capable of overcoming challenges when you were young and having fun really shows the type of soul that you are. And you had to go through a lot of young energy that lacked wisdom, was a bit manipulative, was a bit too focused on competition and winning instantly rather than seeing what's more important. And I see you suffered a lot because of this energy. Like I said, you are much wiser and more highly evolved coming from as a starseed than most of the people you may know. But right next to the Five of Swords is the Six of Wands. We see the same beautiful lady here in red is now being celebrated and celebrating others. This shows me that you are on the brink of change. Do you see that? The stop line is about to be cut off, and you're about to experience life in a much different way. You're about to blend in with your environment. You've learned to deal successfully with them very well. You're no longer facing these types of energies because you've grown a lot, where you didn't want to hear what you did not want to hear before, being a highly developed soul, because you didn't want to change. You're now listening to, and that does not mean you are changing. It means that you are more attuned to your environment, you know how to deal with it, and rather than it being a great challenge to you, I see now that you're able to connect with your environment in a much easier way. This is going to help you a lot in helping in your mission with helping out the planet in something, in an area, and I'll find out as we do your reading. You're about to have your life transformed. And this is why in your past you were born into a challenging situation, or at least your soul wasn't so familiar with it. You had to maybe deal with tough people, tough types of people, in order to build this thick skin and transform and blend in. This seems to be very vital when it comes to your spiritual journey, pile number 4. This blending in, because only when you blend in and understand people and understand why they do what they do and how to deal with it, will you be in touch with Earth itself, in touch with the current problem in a much more realistic way, so that you are able to bring in your experience and to bring in your futuristic way of your futuristic system that works very well in order to be able to implement it on Earth. What is your mission, pile number 4? I'm very intrigued. I asked the question and I held your stone. The blue Goldstone is all about healing, understanding yourself better. Again, look at that. You were drawn to the blue Goldstone. It looks like a starry sky, doesn't it? Just like, obviously, where you come from. So like I said, it has to do with healing, self-realization, but most importantly, grounding, as you can see here. It has to do with the root chakra. So safety, stability, having a sense of safety, stability, all related to grounding. So you're moving from the stars to grounding yourself down on earth, living the same issues and the same problems and the same situations that people on earth are currently going through in order to understand how to transform this situation. So currently you're going through that spiritual process of getting along better with people, realizing who you are, getting more in touch of your psychic ability, getting more attuned to the universe. Yeah, getting more attuned to who you really are as a star being, while at the same time simultaneously grounding yourself and getting to understand more about people on earth. So you're getting in touch with both of these ends together, and that will be the beginning of your spiritual journey, pile number 4. There is great success here, and in fact, corn always reminds me of the goddess Demeter, who had her beloved daughter Persephone taken from her by the god of the underground, so taken underground, and we see the idea of up and down, up and down. And she spent years looking for her beautiful daughter Persephone. She couldn't get a hold of her, and during that time the earth was dying, and to save the situation, Zeus asked Hermes to help Demeter out. Long story short, with negotiation, everything, they will be able to bring Persephone back to Demeter and save the day. And so Demeter gave corn to all of those who helped her find her beautiful daughter. And with this, we see the idea of you going through a long journey underground, or in this case on earth, long tough journey, being cut out from your world, trying to understand difficult things that may not be easy for your soul to grasp. But as you've gone through this, you've learned to love and understand the beauty on earth, the beauty of the people on earth as well. It's not just the bad. It might have been difficult or uncomfortable in the beginning, but you've learned to see the beauty in all of that, going through this tough times. And this has really grounded you on the planet. You understand it now. But now you have both, being a highly evolved soul, as well as someone who's learned how to deal with the issues on the planet. And from this moment, you are now ready to step into your journey and save the planet somehow, somewhere. I'm seeing up north. Anyways, so you are right about to begin this type of exciting journey here. It was not easy for you to grasp in the past, for sure, but this is definitely a highly and important spiritual journey with all the ones, my goodness, we are seeing here in your reading. Pile number 4. All right, so this is what you're going through now. Let's see what you're going to do with that in the future. I'm really intrigued. Pile number 4. What order are you going to be? What system are you bringing in? What are you saving or fixing here? Let me clear this out and take a look at your reading. Pile number 4. All right, pile number 4. Let's take a look at the future of your spiritual journey. Perhaps we'll gain access to what you're here to do, my dear pile number 4. Wow. So you have the warrior. Game is on, isn't it? Okay. We have a beautiful rainbow up top here. Beautiful diamond in the place of a third eye. And we have, of course, the snake for change and rebirth. We have a skull, meaning something is ending, dying, and the rebirth is happening. Rainbow, the light is out in times of gray, in gray times, meaning challenging times where we can't see things clearly. Okay. Wow, you have the dragonfly. Which is a very spiritual insect. Or an ethereal creature. You have the sun in Scorpio with endurance. You're beating something big here. No question about it. Again, you see the sun radiating, helping you out in your journey. It's like the universe is helping you out. Your planet, your star, helping you out. Beat something. For sure. You're fighting something. That's the only way to see it. You're fighting something here. But you're doing it with wisdom, because the dragonfly, it reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. And that's what we're seeing here and here. You're fighting something, but you're doing it with a lot of wisdom. It still needs a lot of strength, a lot of war, but you're doing it again with wisdom. Okay, this is how the last oracle card looks like. You know how Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, and it kind of goes like Humpty Dumpty broke? No. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So this would show that you're here to fix something that would have been irreversible had you not interfered. And that's why you had to gain great knowledge and great grounding with the planet, to see its pain, to see its suffering, to see the problem in order to fight it well, so that we don't reach a state where it's irreversible. This is really interesting, pile number 4. I'm really intrigued. What is it that you're doing? Or maybe you don't know yet. You are the one, however. You know you're a chosen, loved, chosen soul. This really shocked me when I saw it. You know you are the one in your heart. Isn't this beautiful? Wow. Maybe you're not aware yet of your soul mission, but I can tell you, looking at the energy of your future cards, pile number 4, is that you are here to save something that cannot be reversed. And you're fighting greatly with all your might and all you have, with your wisdom, with your intuition, with your courage, with your knowledge, with everything, to reverse things so that they don't reach that state. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the World. See, an end of a cycle. You're succeeding here, ending a cycle that could have been irreversible to achieving what you are supposed to do. So that we clearly see here, and with the World card, we see that you're here to save the world from something, the Earth, the planet. You will be succeeding in this journey, pile number 4. Your missions are so big, sometimes it really blows my mind. I want to meet you guys and see what you're doing, and I trust in the reading. I really trust in the reading. But your energies are really mesmerizing, and I would love to see what you're doing. You have the 8 of Swords. You can already see here through the energy of the 8 of Swords where we are at a stage in the future where we got our hands tied, and meaning we think we can't do anything about it. We think that we're stuck and there's no other way but to let Humpty Dumpty fall off this wall. It's just the way it is. And I see you've fought hard to fight this idea. The mere idea of we're losing is not acceptable to you. That's where your wisdom comes in. Perhaps now that you understand more about the planet, more about different types of thinking processes, different ideas that exist, you're able to communicate your wisdom better. Pile number 4. And you're definitely going to be succeeding at that. We have the Ace of Swords bringing clarity to a tough situation. Wow, we have the Knight of Swords again. We see courage. We see saying the right words. It's uncanny how in every pile, the past, present, and future, your cards matched. So we have this blue cape here. We see you bringing clarity, fighting with speech, saying the right things. Now you understand better how to motivate others, where the root of the problem is, being courageous in speaking it out and saying what you think. And the reason you have all of this courage is that now you love the planet and you want to save it. You can see where we're going wrong exactly. And you're here to speak with clarity and intelligence and wisdom about it. So I see you'll be saving it with words. That's why we have fighting with words here, with wisdom. All right. Well, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. You have the 7 of Wands. And you have the Ace of Pentacles. You know, when I saw the 7 of Wands, the first thing I thought about was perhaps a lot of people will try to be fighting you in different ways. With all of these wands specifically, just like the Witch's wand here, I kind of see they're fighting you with different energies. Perhaps threatening you, perhaps putting bad energy on you, making you feel afraid. But they're all small wands and you're not afraid. It's like you being an ethereal being by nature, as we see with the dragonfly and the starseed and everything we've seen. It's not really affecting you much at all. We always see the 7 of Wands on higher ground, meaning you are at a great advantage, again, because of who you are. And despite the challenges, you're up for it. You're not afraid to face everything or everyone that has been trying to have things work their ways because it suits them. You know what this reminds me of? What's the movie called? I think the movie is called Don't Look Up. And in this movie, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this part, skip the next few seconds. In this movie, we can see the whole world collapsing, remember? If you've seen that movie. And yet, business people were still speaking about profiting from others, not seeing that the planet is about to blow up, and even creating businesses that will ruin the whole planet in a couple of days. And that's all they think about. So I see that you're here bringing awareness to people who consistently think about themselves despite of whatever is going to happen and whatever is going to be irreversible. And you're fighting this with strength, alone, but with great strength, with great courage. You're saying the right word, you're creating awareness, you're taking the blindfolds and making everyone aware of what's going on. And through your speech, you're changing the situation, you're ending this cycle. It's finishing here in your reading. Isn't it amazing how we see here, you're the one who's going to do that? I wonder what you're going to do, pile number 4. Or perhaps you're part of the chosen ones who are going to do that. And not that you may care, because it seems like you really care about doing the right thing. But I do see a box of wealth here right next to you with the Queen of Pentacles. It's like you've set your wand aside, you're now happy, you're enjoying the rest of your time here on the planet, enjoying all the beautiful things you've learned to enjoy, but you're living it comfortably with great wealth. And you have achieved your spiritual journey that you are here to do. We see a great achievement in your future. It's not going to be an easy fight, but one that you will persevere through with words. You are going to be very safe. And you're going to create a lot of independence, wealth, happiness, and great experiences for yourself. In fact, with the Ace of Pentacles here, I feel like this is a new beginning and a new experience to how you experience the planet this time. You're seeing it from another perspective. You're seeing the beauty within the planet. You've saved it. You've achieved your soul mission. You've achieved wealth. And I feel like when it's time to go, you will leave a very big piece of your heart here. Despite the fact that it was hard in the beginning, you will learn to love the planet immensely and the beautiful nature and what it has to offer. You will leave a big piece of your heart here with you once all is said and done. Pile number 4. This is mind-blowing. It almost feels like science fiction, but I believe it. I believe, of course, I believe it. I believe in the energy we're seeing. And pile number 4, I wish you all the best of luck in your journey. Pile number 4 on this channel has been always mind-blowing, mesmerizing. And I feel so much pleasure having connected with you. I have so much respect for you and for your spiritual journey. All the best of luck with that, pile number 4. I hope you introduce yourself in the comment section if you want. I would love to get to know more about you and what you're here to do, pile number 4. All the best of luck with that. Thank you. And that was your reading. If you've enjoyed it, pile number 4, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. You might be interested in it, pile number 4, in your journey. It is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And if you feel like that would really help you out in your journey, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box with all the information that you might need, reviews and prices, everything that you might need. And pile number 4, from my heart, I wish you all the best of luck and success in your journey. It was such a pleasure and an honor doing this reading for you. Thank you for everything, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.